inside my WWE action figure collection, there are secret WWE action figures that are considered gems amongst the community. And what does that actually mean? It means I've taken multiple WWE action figures, fused them together, and created its own unique action figure that has led to it being better than the common WWE action figure you would find amongst other collections. I'm not talking about a Flash ringside exclusive Rey Mysterio figure. I'm not talking about the common releases or the figures that everybody has. I'm talking about figures that make my collection special because I've pretty much created them using other figures. So today we're going to dive into more hidden gems in my collection. We've done this in the past, and it's always some of my favorite videos because it lets me relive the creation, and it lets me dive deep into my collection and remember those figures fondly. Alright, we're starting this banger list off, man, with this figure right here. And this figure for me is so nostalgic, alright? This is a combination of figures, okay? You guys remember you remember when we used to just get random 2-packs? Now, I say used to, like we didn't just get a few last year, right? With the Dudleys and the Imperium and the Headbang. Okay, I see that we still get 2-packs. But back when we got the Jeff Hardy Triple H SmackDown 2-pack was just an elite set, man. Had that shirtless Jeff with the mesh shirt. Well, one time I stumbled into my Big Lots and I found like 5 of them for $15 a piece or something. And I thought I was dreaming. I wasn't dreaming, actually, so I actually bought all of those. And then I took the Survivor Series Jeff Hardy, and I took the jersey, which is one of my favorite pieces of WWE shop memorabilia of all time, put that onto the Survivor Series Elite with these purple and black bands, and then I put that 2-pack head sculpt on here, man. This is a pretty damn good 2000-2001 Jeff Hardy right here, man. You're not going to beat this. This is incredible. The only thing that can make this better is maybe double-jointed arms and better articulated legs. The Jeff Hardy legs were never great by Mattel. They just weren't. So hopefully he'll sign and come back when he gets some better legs. But that figure right there is a damn banger. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anyone says. This figure is a certified banger. Next up, we have another Undertaker here. I say Undertaker like I just showed you an Undertaker. This is the Ruthless Aggression Elite Undertaker, but very, very basic, man. I can't remember if it came with his headband. I want to say it did, but even if it didn't, the most subtle things can set a figure off, man. And what we did with this figure is we took a Sid Vicious vest and put it on there. That is it, I'm pretty sure. Just an absolute, just such an easy thing. Now, this figure virtually came with nothing. It came with absolutely nothing, I imagine. And this just upgrades the figure, man. You're going to tell me if you got a chain, if I had a loose chain wrapped around his neck, had him holding it, and then, you know, you put him on a shelf and you're showcasing like your early Ruthless Aggression era. Dude, that would slap so damn hard. You could use that so nice. You could put it on a bike. Oh, dude, what a great figure right there. The vest is what sets it off. Not that it doesn't look great without the vest, but when they upgraded Undertaker's formula with bigger shoulders and arms, absolute peak figure right there, man. Very basic, but very nice. Next up, this right here is so underrated. Okay, if you guys remember way back in the day with the Entrance Greats, I'm not talking about the Entrance Greats Elite line. I'm talking about the Entrance Greats basic line from 2010. They did a debut Chris Jericho that came with this entrance shirt. Haven't seen it since. It also came with these pants, these nice rock star pants. Never seen them since, with a built-in belt, as you can see right here. And I had the basic for a long time, and so I took the Elite Attitude Era figure, which would be a great re-release for. If Chris Jericho comes back to WWE, this is going to be in the From the Vault series like that. Guarantee it. It is the one with the red, you know, the red barbed wire trunks, which is incredible. There's so many attires of Chris Jericho they could do, but this is a great head sculpt. Fantastic head sculpt for debut Jericho right there, and then you throw the shirt onto the Elite with the pants, man, and this is a great debut Chris Jericho Elite. Just, God in heaven, you could even make this into an Ultimate, to be honest with you, which would be great. They could do so many things, man. There's so many things. There's so many creative things on the table. If the Hardys would come back, if Edge and Christian would come back, if Chris Jericho would come back, if Sting would come back, just imagine the figures, man. Just imagine the figures. But right now, we're imagining this fix up here from CM Punk, which is going to be the From the Vault Straight Edge Society Punk. And I love this, too, because it's upgraded, okay? One thing I will say, though, is I wish this had the Elite. Like, I don't think it does. I mean, it kind of feels free-flowing, but I don't know. The legs don't. You see how the legs kind of get bent? They're kind of like too wide for me. They don't stand great. I don't think he's on ball joints, but if they would have made this guy on ball joints like the Elite 115 CM Punk and different things, probably would have been a little bit better. But head swapping the All-Stars long-haired head sculpt onto this figure is chef's kiss. You get the chest hair, the unmasked, the camo gear that we waited years for, and double jointed arms. Now, I'll probably fix this up. If they ever give us better head sculpts that have a longer beard for CM Punk. Now, I know I have the Royal Rumble Elite. I don't think it quite works, you know. You probably could make a really cool fix up, but I'm going to leave it like it is. I kind of like that, I don't know, that All-Stars head sculpt always mesmerized me a little bit there. I like the camo, though. The camo is so damn clean with the SES. When we saw that SES Punk revealed at Comic-Con, I knew immediately I wanted to make this fix-up, and this is a great fix-up. I think we made that on Action Figure Surgery episode 100. It's still a banger, but let's move on, man. One of my favorite fix-ups we've made recently is going to be this Roman Reigns, this promo gear Roman Reigns. Now, what makes this so great is we have kind of hacked this Roman Reigns to give him a promo gear, because Mattel, you know, they act like they've given us promo gears. They act like it, you know. They've given us the Roman Reigns that I think was originally this figure, right? I think it was the Elite 117, gave him the hoodie, and then they gave us the Elite 120 with the shirt hoodie, and they're like, oh, that's promo gear Roman Reigns. It's not promo gear Roman Reigns, because he had the standard Roman Reigns legs, which are just his wrestling pants, which in his promo gears, he wears joggers. I used some Elite 114 Jimmy Uso legs, and then the kicker is I gave him the Ultimate Edition LA Knight feet that look like Jordan 11s, so now you get this Jordan 11 look of a promo gear Roman Reigns here, which is just elite. That is an immaculate fix-up right there, and this is a custom head sculpt from BEW. You could easily remove this, and you could put on one of these smiling promo gear Roman Reigns head sculpts, which also work, and then banger. You got another great banger right there. Just so simple, man. Anybody can do these. Anybody can do these. None of these require paint. These are just adding some accessories, adding a figure, you know, just taking a couple parts from different figures and making your own figures. That is what makes, I think that is actually, outside of maybe feting and doing like creative storylines and seeing that all come together, outside of that, man, taking figures and fixing them up and making other creations is the best part of the entire thing. To me, you know, I like a straight up release by Mattel, but man, when you can take a figure and then tweak it slightly to make your own creation that makes it either, you know, maybe somewhat accurate or more accurate or like a little bit better, it's just nothing beats that to me. But this is the Elite 8 Edge. And all we did here was a lower arm swap, because back in the day you could lower arm swap with basics, and it was just a great, terrific tradition. Now you don't get that anymore because they're pinless and god-awful, and you hate to see that. As much as I like double jointed arms, I loved back in the day how you could take basics and switch the arms, and don't get me wrong, I'll take double jointed arms over the ability to switch them. It's just one of those things, and you know, it's just different things. I miss being able to swap basic arms onto elite arms. It's a lost pastime now, but this figure is pretty great because of the ability to arm swap. So see, you get this originally just had elbow pads with black wrist tape. This is so much cooler, man. You get the rated R bands on there. I mean, who is not liking that, man? It's a great figure right there. Elite 8 Edge. That is one they could remaster if he ever comes back. Next up, we have this Matt Cardona in suit here, which is a pretty easy one. This is the Trash Corbin Basic, and this brown suit fits so many eras. You could make Attitude Era Vince or Shane or anybody you want to that was back in the day. You can make early 2000s. You could do Eric Bischoff. There's just so many things you could do here. You make Batista, which we've done before, but I took the Super 7 head sculpt, put it on here. Now you have kind of a promo Matt Cardona, if you will. The hands and the skin tone doesn't match, but it's not the biggest deal, especially from certain angles. You can't even tell, but this is an easy fix-up anybody can make. It's just a head swap simply. And I think it works pretty nice for a Matt Cardona if you wanted to do that, Zack Ryder, whatever you want to do there. But let's move on, man. We also have my man Cedric Alexander right here. Okay, so Cedric Alexander, this figure, if you guys remember back in the day, this originally, the render was shown with the Kofi Kingston torso, with the Finn Balor, the Cody Rhodes, the Seth Rollins torso. Well, when the figure released, they gave him the Daniel Bryan torso, which I was so upset by. I thought that was garbage. I hated to see that. So we immediately took to surgery and we fixed this guy up, and this is probably one of the best torso swaps that I have ever done in my entire life. Everything is seamless. It looks so clean. It's always remained tight. I have even feted with this figure. I've done shows with this figure, and it's never gotten loose. It's never been bad. The shoulders have always been tight. The waist has always been tight. The ab crunch has always been tight, and I feel like that's something you never see. So this figure is special to me. I was always a big Cedric Alexander fan, so getting that figure made was fantastic, and it's such a subtle look, but it looks like it came that way because originally it was supposed to. You know, the guy worked his butt off. I think he was over 200 pounds to enter the Cruiserweight Classic. He lost like 40 pounds to enter that thing and dominated, was incredible, and I hated to see them waste it, give him the Daniel Bryan torso, which should still be retired to this day. Anyway, we're moving on to another fix-up here, and it's going to be the 3-pack Brock Lesnar, man. This figure is so great, man. Such a great figure. And I would like to see them redo this, but give us the damn, Brock Lesnar belt buckle. But having this former Brock here with the jeans is such a great figure, but we head swapped it. It used to have the smiling head sculpt, so now he's pissed off, which I like. But then we replaced his feet with some Bray Wyatt boots, and this is just such a great thing. They used to just give him the standard black shoes. How much better are these boots on here, man? Such a subtle detail that makes the figure stand out. Look at that right there, man. It kind of gives that cowboy, it lifts him up a little bit, so it makes him a little taller. There's just some great things here. They also just made the figure too short, to be honest with you. If you look him up, up next to some of these other figures, he's not as big as he needs to be. That's because of these legs, to be honest. They need to give him some Undertaker legs, possibly, to make him bigger, or just give us better legs. But I like the way these are dry brushed and they pose well, so I don't know. I can sacrifice the height because of how sick it is, but I love the boots, man. That's such a easy fix-up that just, I don't know. That's just, look how easy and nice that is, man. How you beating that? But let's get into the last one. And it's one that we just recently did that I didn't really do a video on, but we took the Build-A-Figure Corey Graves Elite, and we have created CM Punk in a suit right here, man. When he was on commentary, when he's injured, when he's doing these talk shows and stuff like that, this is pretty much what he looks like, man. You have kind of that nice suit with the vest. You kind of get some tattoos on the neck, but I think he can kind of hide it because it is CM Punk. But you give him that Elite 121 head sculpt. These are still the Corey Graves hands, but you could easily put CM Punk hands in there from the Hell Frozen Over, the promo gear from the Survivor Series War Games Return. Could easily put that on there. I think this still works. This is great and terrific. And now you have a CM Punk in suit. And again, the height's not the worst of all time if you compare him back there. I think he could get away with it. I think CM Punk's, 6'1", 6'2"-ish. So I think that would work. I don't think anybody would really have any issues with it. But this is a great little fix-up right here, man. If you don't want Corey Graves in suit, or if you want a little change of pace, you want to do a little talk show CM Punk, or change it up, this is a great fix-up you can do, man. So all of these figures in their own right, very easy to do. You just need to head swap, watch Action Figure Surgery. These are just some things that you can learn on there. And again, man, that is really why I started Action Figure Surgery, from, watching people create things and fix up and do these different things. And then, you want to make your own fix-ups. You learn the craft. You learn how to do it yourself. You get to explore those creativities, dive into it, you learn the lore, you learn how to do it, and bam, there you go. Now you can make all these crazy figures in your own collection, and that is what creates these hidden gems that are made into the collection, man. But that is pretty much going to wrap it up for me. I hope you guys did enjoy. I would love to know down below what you think of my fix-ups here in these hidden gems, and let me know which is your favorite, which ones you hate, which ones you like. Maybe you got your own down in the comment section. If you guys ever create your own fix-up and want me to see it, tag me across social media. If you do some cool stuff, man, I'd love to see it. If it is worth actually noting or anything like that, and if I see it, right? Sometimes I don't see things, but if it is worth if I think it is a sick fix-up or I think it is something incredible, I'll share it to my story, I'll comment on it, I'll like it. I truly will, and I've done that over the years, man. Sometimes I get inspired by other people out there, and then I'll give them a shout-out on the channel when we actually perform that fix-up and stuff like that. But nonetheless, I'm getting the hell out, man. Hope you guys did enjoy. I'd love to know all your thoughts on this stuff down below, but I'll see you guys next time. Have a blessed one, and I'll catch you guys later.